So I started my healthcare career at 16 and went to a career center for medical terminology and nurse assisting. But at 22, I left the bedside to become an entrepreneur. So I'm gonna tell you how in this video. So my name is Tiffany G. I am a marketing strategist of 8 years, ex-bedside nurse, state-tested nursing assistant. I left the nursing field and left behind my nursing degree to become an entrepreneur. And I'm so glad and thankful that I did it, because I'm having a full circle moment this year, really the past 2 years, where we've been serving healthcare entrepreneurs in our firm, okay? And so it started out basically a few years ago. I started serving mental health therapists and doctors, okay? So they would come to me and they would say, hey, I need you to create my social media and email marketing strategy so we can sign more patients. And the synergy was just naturally there as someone that used to work in healthcare. And today, I want to tell you how you can accomplish this as well, because I know where you're at right now. You're like, okay, this bedside isn't really given the way I wanted to. You feel like you're at a ceiling. You can't get over that $35, $40 an hour mark, but entrepreneurship is going to be your best way to do so let's break this down. You have 3 main skills that are transferable that you can use from nursing to becoming an entrepreneur. And they are a deep understanding of healthcare and medical terminology, the ability to empathize and have high caliber patient communication skills, and you have the ability to problem solve like no other. Now, I didn't really put all of these things together when I first started my journey as an entrepreneur, but as I've service clients in a larger capacity, corporate clients, contracts all across the world, I've realized, wow, a lot of my success in entrepreneurship has naturally come because of my experience in nursing, because we all know nursing is no joke. Healthcare is brutal, and you have to be quick. You have to be able to make an executive decision quickly. You have to have that bedside manner patient experience top tier on your mind. And you have to be smart. You have to be empathetic. And these are all things that are going to take you extremely far as an entrepreneur. Now, before we get into the meat of this lesson, I also want to talk about how when I was young, I would actually see my mom as an art therapist. She would go and work at nursing homes, healthcare. She was basically a healthcare art therapist, even though her degree was in art and not nursing. And so this is just one example of how you can have one transferable skill in one area that allows you to become an entrepreneur in the nursing field, okay? So let's talk about making this transition. You're like, okay, cool, Tiffany, this sounds great, but tangibly, how do I do this? Well, you want to start small. I began by writing my healthcare portfolio as a blog called Wellness Writes with Tiffy G. If you went back far enough on my website, you would actually find it, okay? And so I want you to start small. I want you to start looking at, okay, what type of website can I create to serve other people? And Black Educators Amplified, which includes healthcare specialists, a huge bulk of our client base right now has currently been healthcare specialists. Our clients will actually go through as functional medicine providers, as nurses, as falls prevention strategists, and we help them to develop and draft their website copy so that they have a message that will translate to the bedside or to telehealth marketing. Because ever since the pandemic, telehealth marketing has increased dramatically, and so you don't always have to be at the bedside anymore. You can be in a format like this where you're teaching your clients, you're teaching your patients, and that is going to enable you to have more freedom, more flexibility, and more profits, because you are going to be taking those private clients, okay? Now you're seeing how this can be a roadmap to your freedom, flexibility, and success, because as nurses, as people in the healthcare profession, a lot of times you burn out. I mean, I remember you'd have to stay over doing 12 to 16-hour shifts, right? But this is really your chance to leverage that experience you have and use it in a new manner to get leverage for your own self, for your own family, and for your own community across the globe. So next, you need to identify your niche, your specific industry expertise. Now, I was just talking about in our 8-week accelerator, Black Educators Amplified. By the way, if you want to schedule a free assessment call, tap the link down below to get on our scheduler, okay? Because classes start January 19th to go from bedside nurse to healthcare entrepreneur. But I was saying that you need to nail down your niche. So you're not just gonna say like, okay, I'm an online telehealth provider for nurses, for people in this industry, for random patients. No. As a nurse, you guys know more than anything that you have to choose a specific niche, okay? So this can be pediatrics, like I used to work at Children's Hospital on the neuroscience floor. This can be something dealing with mental health, neuroscience, psychology. This can be something dealing with seizures. You can deal with menopause. You can deal with whatever your trade and licenses is in by profession. It can also be geriatrics, right? Falls prevention specialist. It can be massage therapy if you're more along the side of like massage therapy, med spa, IV nurse, and that type of thing. Any type of industry expertise you have, you want to use it, because from a marketing and marketplace standpoint, it's always going to be more valuable to choose one specific niche, even inside of nursing, so you can actually create your website and create your brand message based off that foundation. And then lastly, of course, you want to leverage your experience. Now, I was a STNA, I was a nurse assistant, but I had about 7 years of experience because I started working in healthcare at 16, right? I was going to nursing school and I was having all of these different areas of expertise in Nationwide Children's Hospital, nursing homes, mental health hospitals. And so very quickly I was able to make my way up the ranks in the healthcare field. You want to leverage that experience for your own client base as well. After you start your LLC, after you launch your website, after you do all these things, now it's time to go to market and find these clients, these patients that are gonna work with you. And if you're like, well, what about HIPAA? And what about all of these different laws we have? Yes, those laws are a thing. You still have to abide by those laws. And there are ways to make sure that you are ethically doing business as a healthcare professional by providing tips that are based on your own results, by providing tips and industry expertise that are not focused on necessarily what happened to your patients, but more so focused on what we all learn in nursing school, which is education, education, education. Let me know down below if your nursing school is also like that, because they would push into us like 150% patient education, patient education, patient education, okay? So this is the route you want to take. And this is why we even named our program that's 8 weeks an accelerator. It's called Black Educators Amplified because education is the foundation of everything you do in business. If you could take out that word marketing and replace it with education, you'd have a much better mindset around how to develop a proper business and stay in business for the long term. Always be educating. So now that we have those 3 transitions out of the way of starting small, identifying your niche, and leveraging your experience, let's talk about the golden area right here. 25 innovative medical side hustles that you can use. I wish I would have been on par with this and knowledgeable about this back in 2016, 2017 when I left healthcare, but I'm here now to give you a head start that you need, because we all know this economy is different and there's no reason to not have leverage in your career. By the way, you can do all of these side hustles while having your nursing career, so that you can either work part-time eventually, or you can still work full-time, or eventually your goal could be to quit your 9 to 5 or your 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. all together. So I split these into 5 main sections. The first section is writing and education. So you can be a functional medicine content writer if you're a holistic medicine practitioner, if you're someone that you're seeing the things going on in pharmacology, you're seeing those things going on in oncology and the bedside, and you're like, man, I really feel like we should get more into like the wellness, the functional medicine, the holistic aspect. You can totally do that. You can also be a medical study guide creator. I've seen this a lot of times. You can develop study materials for nursing students and medical certification exams. This can also include CPR tests and CPR licensing as well, right? Medical textbook reviewers. You can actually offer your expertise for medical publishing companies and update their healthcare materials. Now this will be a little bit more top tier. This will be for my RNs, my MSNs, my PhDs out there, okay? Because they will want you to have that higher caliber credibility. But if you want to get out the bedside, then go ahead and go over to those medical publishers, okay? medical translation services. You can translate healthcare documents and education materials. Healthcare app content developer. You can write app content, short content for medical and wellness applications. This is such a huge market and it's in really high demand. Now, what you want to do with this one, you will want to buff up your LinkedIn presence. You will want to have a spick and span website that is like to perfection, so that when those developers come across your website, it looks like it's high caliber, it looks like it's not written by AI and ChatGPT, and you can really articulate the value of what you're doing to that person who wants to buy an application or who wants you to come in as a healthcare consultant and write stuff for their healthcare app, their mindfulness app, their blood pressure app, their whatever health related app it is. Now let's go to our next section, which is geriatric services. I was talking to you earlier about this with my mom. Now my mom is by profession an art therapist. She has no nursing degree. She's not really in healthcare, but she started contracting as an entrepreneur with nursing homes and geriatric care facilities, okay? So how much more can you as a nurse or as a nurse assistant come in and offer these services when you already are basically in the door and have the experience? So you can be an online falls prevention strategist like one of our clients inside Black Educators Amplified. We revamped and redid her entire website copy so that she can go out there and get those corporate contracts. You can be a senior wellness program developer. You can create exercise and lifestyle programs for retirement communities. This is huge across the globe. This can even work in like Kenya, Seychelles, South Africa, Botswana, right? Anywhere that senior care is big. You can also be a memory care activity consultant. Now this kind of goes in the realm of what my mom did. Like you're really dealing with memory care and geriatrics when you're coming in, you're doing like art therapy, music therapy, you're doing different activities to help them integrate into this new lifestyle and still feel that sense of integrity and self-worth as they're coming to the more mature adult age. And then you can be a senior nutritional meal planner. Like if you're in like fitness and even if you're an occupational therapist, a physical therapist, why not start to look at how can I make this work from a telehealth position instead of always being at the bedside and relying just on your 9 to 5. You can have these multiple streams of revenue as a healthcare consultant, and eventually you can live anywhere you want in the world. I, for instance, live in Southeastern Africa. You may want to live in Dubai. You may want to live in South Africa. You may want to live in Thailand. Ma'am, sir, you can do whatever you want to do after you get these things on par. Next, you can be a pediatric innovation specialist. So this is where we're talking about pediatrics. I used to work in pediatrics, so this is very near to my heart. I'm a mom of 5, right? So you can be a medical play specialist. A lot of times at Children's Hospital, they would have like these medical play specialists come in and bring in different toys and have different activities for the children. When I look back on that, that could have been like different contractors that were either volunteering or they had a contract with Children's Hospital to actually do these things, okay? You can be a pediatric sleep consultant. If you have worked on the neuroscience floor before, then this is ideal for you because we all know if you've worked on neuroscience, or at least the one that I worked in Ohio, a lot of people are up there, a lot of children are up there with sleep issues, with sleep apnea, and so they'll place the monitors onto their brain to see their sleep activity. And so if you have experience in that area as a nurse, as a doctor, as a healthcare provider, why not provide this in a telehealth network, okay? Next, you can do a children's health app developer contract, okay? You can design interactive telehealth programs for children online on your iPad. Now this, if you are good with design and you're in healthcare, this would literally pop off right now. This is so big because app developing is one of those skills that's like highly articulate. You need a lot of expertise, but if you know how to do project management and app developing and you're in healthcare, ma'am, sir, what are you waiting for? Number 4, special needs equipment consultant. So you can advise on adaptive equipment for children. I know this was a huge one as well in Children's Hospital. We would have different equipment providers come in and fix the equipment or do some patient education for them once they were going to be discharged from the floor, okay? And then you can be a pediatric nutrition coach. So you can literally tutor families, tutor children, and be their advocate when their children do not want to eat salad, right? When their children need to learn about iron, they need to learn about anatomy, when they need to come in and develop a better nutrition understanding. You can provide ebooks, you can provide workbooks, you can provide an entire curriculum to help articulate this value to the parents and to serve your clients at a deeper level, okay? Now, our next section is mental health services, another one that's dear to my heart, as I've worked in mental health and actually have served a plethora of mental health clients over the years. So you can be a workplace mental health trainer, meaning you can develop corporate mental health programs. Look, I'm gonna shut the laptop on this one. This one alone is insane. Let me tell you why. I just want you to imagine that you're serving one client that pays you $1,000, $3,000 a month. Then I want you to imagine you're serving corporate clients. I mean small, mid-size, and large corporate clients that want you to come in as a mental health practitioner and to help their employees in the workplace. Now you're not just making $1,000, now you're making $1,000 per person that's in that workshop for a department that could be 25 people. Okay, now the caveat with this, again, your website has to be on par, because your website is the first thing that corporate institutions look at to see, is this a legitimate consultant? And if it doesn't seem legitimate, they're going to be like, I don't think so. And you're not going to get an email back, and it's just not going to work out. Number 2, digital anxiety management coach. Now you can create online courses for anxiety management if you're an RN in mental health, or if you're a therapist that deals, of course, with mental health. You can really specialize in anxiety. I know our clients on the agency side, therapist offices in New York, they would actually specialize in anxiety and a few different areas, but it would all be telehealth. So it would all be the nurse practitioners, the doctors, the psychologists, everybody doing it from their laptop in a video format like this, serving their clients, and they would only take private pay clients, okay? Number 4, you can be a mindfulness program developer. This is a huge one. You can design mindfulness programs for both healthcare or for any setting. I see this a lot in financial services. I've also worked heavily in financial services and real estate, and so it's really huge if you can come in as a mindfulness program developer and create some kind of mindfulness program that spans 8 weeks, 16 weeks, 6 months for busy finance professionals in the banking sector. Imagine how happy they'll be to have you around them, okay? Now, our next section, which is actually our last section, dental innovation. You can be a dental practice social media manager. This is huge. I used to deal heavily in social media managing. Nowadays, I preference email marketing more so, but if a client comes with a need for social media management, we would see if we could take them on, right? But you can be a social media manager for dental offices, especially if you're a dental hygienist. You're dealing with everybody's teeth, their gums, you're dealing with patient care, patient outcomes, but your paycheck you're looking at and you're like, oh my gosh, this hyperinflation, I'm gonna need some leverage. I'm trying to put a down payment on a house, I'm trying to travel, I'm trying to invest in a business. Whatever your life goal is, having this social media manager side hustle will get you to the next level like it did us, okay? You can be that dental practice social media manager. You can have your clients actually that have their Facebook profile, their Facebook business profile. You get certified through HubSpot Academy, and then you do your social media website, and you join Black Educators Amplified, and you have your website and your copy and your marketing direction ready for you to actually catapult and attract these new clients. You can serve them through Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Like, it's literally, there's endless resources out there if you are in healthcare and the sciences, okay? You can be a dental education content creator. The fact that this is even a thing is like mind-blowing to me now, because when I started in 2016, 2017, I don't think we were up to par with the way that social media was working, especially in healthcare. But now, after working with functional medicine providers and doctors, PhDs, psychologists, I'm saying, wow, there's this entire healthcare industry out there that's nothing like we were taught in nursing school, and nothing like we were taught when we were growing up and seeing the commercials of, or not even commercials, seeing the medical shows of different surgeries. Okay, I'm gonna confess, I was that strange child that would watch TLC to watch people have different surgeries. I loved healthcare that much as a child. Leave a comment down below if you are in healthcare and you can relate and you were literally called into it. It is truly a calling, like it's an irresistible calling, right? Like, I can't believe I was doing that at 5 years old, because I have young children now and I'm just like, I can't even imagine them just turning on TLC and watching open heart surgeries. Like, that's mind-blowing to me. But anyway, you can also develop educational materials for dental offices. So every small business, medium-sized business, they have a lot of work. They have a lot of patients, and they are literally just waiting for the right person to come up via email, via LinkedIn, and say, hey, I can take this load off your shoulders. And that is the perfect opportunity for you to come in as a contractor and help them restructure these dental documents, these dental education documents, these workbooks, to preference their patient education. This may be something that they want to do inside of email marketing. This may be educational videos they want to do with TikTok. This could be photography. This can take on a lot of different realms, as you can see. Now, the next one, you can be a dental tourism consultant. This is another one that's like mind-blowing to me. You can guide international patients seeking dental care. There are economies out there like Kenya, Mauritius, Mexico, that have dental tourism on their tourist board websites. And it's like a whole thing where they just want people to come and get affordable health care. Now imagine you're working with these institutions. Man, that's a different type of leverage. You are in top demand, right, on a global level. And then we have dental office virtual tour producers. So this is someone that hopefully has a lot of video expertise. You're good with video marketing, you're good with technology. You can really put together a virtual dental tour. You can help them put together these different modules. You can help them actually show their clients what it's going to be like to step inside from a marketing perspective. Man, my mind is just going wild right now as a marketing strategist. There's so many routes you can take with this, but we will save that for a one-to-one session if you'd like to book your free consultation down below. You can also be a dental product reviewer. Now, this is somewhat of like an influencer, a healthcare influencer, nurse influencer, dental influencer type of role. I haven't done this, but I see this all the time in the industry that I'm in, that people will literally review certain toothpastes, certain health offices, certain healthcare companies, and the companies will pay them thousands of dollars to actually be an influencer for their firm, or for their toothpaste company, or for their floss company, or for their stethoscope company, like literally. So as you can see, healthcare, my gosh, it is a brilliant industry with the rise of information technology. Since the pandemic, healthcare since the pandemic has become so insanely wonderful. It's just like, it's gotten me really hyped up as someone that used to be at the bedside, but now I get to come in and help my clients at a higher level, who are doctors, nurse practitioners, nurses, who are literally ready to leave the bedside behind and start their own business, incorporate their business so that they can have business ownership, time management, and leave a legacy, right? So let me know which one of these down below most shocked you. I'm going to leave a blog in the description going over this, because I actually went ahead and published a blog on my website, which is basically a transcript of this video that you can check out. And I have a bonus one for you. You can be a healthcare worker stress management consultant, which will help medical professionals manage burnout. Check out the links in the description. I cannot wait to talk to you, because we begin Black Educators Amplified Cohort 5 January 19th at 2 p.m. There are 4 slots available. If you would like to take your slot and start your business before March 2025 and start attracting clients before that time with your 3 to 6 month roadmap, come on, we would love to have you on board. Talk soon.